Speaking of my wife, Mary, over the weekend, she was telling me about something that happened to her last week at work. So I just want to preface this up front by saying some may feel this is a little TMI, but it is what it is. And it's something that I'm sure many of us have encountered ever since the advent of the cell phone and most specifically the speaker cell phone. When people are having conversations in public on their speakerphone, how incredibly annoying and rude that is. We've all seen it. I've seen it in restaurants, seen it in movie theaters. We see it all over the place. She was telling me that one day last week, she was in the ladies' room at her office. Now, I've used the restroom in her office before, and the ladies' room is exactly like the men's room. There's like two stalls, one normal size stall, and one larger stall for like a handicap stall. I think probably in the ladies' room there might be a third stall because they don't use urinals, right? So maybe they've got the three. So Mary's doing her thing in one of the stalls, and she hears somebody come into the ladies' room, and they're on their speakerphone having a conversation. So this woman, whoever this was, she's not a coworker. There's a lot of people that work in this building, a lot of businesses, was having a conversation and brought it into the bathroom. Now, when you go into a bathroom, you know generally if you're alone or if someone else is in there, right? You can sense that pretty quick. You see a door shut, you kind of go, somebody in there? You'd like to know what your surroundings are. Well, Mary tells me that this woman goes into the stall, closes the door, sits down, and starts taking care of things, the full business, and she's having a conversation on her phone. While she's doing this, speakerphone, and Mary's in the other stall, eavesdropping on this conversation. Now, it's during the workday, so I guess you might think, well, maybe it's like a really important business call, right? And she needed to take the call. I mean, I'm sure we've all been in that situation before where you're on the phone and then suddenly nature calls and you're like, hey, look, I got to call you back. I got to, But it wasn't anything from what Mary could discern of any gravity. I think she was talking about house decor. So this woman is in the stall next to her, talking loudly, by the way, on her cell phone, on her speakerphone. Mary's hearing both sides of this conversation while the woman's doing her business, which is just crazy to me. Because I feel like if I walked into a restroom at work, the last thing I want is anyone else hearing my business and also my personal business. If you get my drift. I don't want some stranger listening to that. So it's amazing to me just how little self-awareness people have anymore when it comes to this. To add insult to injury, Mary finished up before this other woman did, and when she walked out of the stall to go wash her hands, this woman's coffee cup was sitting on the counter in the ladies' room. Now, again, this is a building with a bunch of different businesses that use these same restrooms. So these aren't your coworkers. These are just random people that share the same building. And her coffee was sitting on the counter in the bathroom. So this woman literally walked in, having a conversation on the speakerphone that everybody could hear, and then puts her coffee mug down, essentially in public, and leaves it. Isn't that weird? It's very strange. She might be one of those people who just become too comfortable at their job or at their work. They feel like it's like their second home. I can see somebody doing that at their own place, but who does that in a business environment? Crazy, crazy, crazy.